Most videos on YouTube erroneously recommend make install over make altinstall. They also do not enable optimisations and a few other gotchas. I decided to watch a few tutorials that deal with these topics, and I was shocked at how confidently people were recommending the wrong way of installing Python from source. So here I am with today's video. Along the way, I will also explain why this way of installing Python is much superior. Okay, so the first step is to, of course, download Python from the official website of Python. I'll post the download link in the description. Click on this big yellow download button. The download has started, as you can see in the top right corner of my browser. After the download, let's head over to the terminal. Let's go to the downloads directory. To view the listing based on time but in reverse so that the latest items appear at the bottom of the ls command result, let's issue the ls-ltr command. You can see the python.tar.xz file. Now before we continue, let's make sure our system is up to date by issuing sudo apt update. Now let's install all of these libraries. By the way, all these commands are listed in the description of the video, so you can simply copy paste all of these commands in the terminal. Now let's unpack the zipped file using the tar command with the xf flag. In case you're wondering, the x flag is for extract and f is to specify the file name. Let's list the directories in the current working directory to see if the folder has been extracted. Now let's cd into the newly extracted folder. Now let me give you a brief lay of the land before we continue. The next command we are gonna issue is, we are gonna run the configuration script with the optimizations enabled. What the configuration script does is it makes sure all the required libraries and dependencies that the project might need are present on your system. Like some of the libraries we just installed when we ran the apt install command with the long list of libraries / dependencies. It checks for those kind of libraries. It also makes sure you have a working compiler and that it is configured correctly. It accesses system specific details like hardware spec on the system, and then using all of the info it gathers, it proceeds and generates the makefile. Makefile is a set of instructions for the make program to follow when compiling the code. The enable optimization part, if this option is used, then the makefile that gets generated will include aggressive optimization flags that will make the binary run more efficiently and faster, but would take really long to build. For timing's sake, I'm going to fast forward that part, but on my computer it took well over 10 minutes to finish. Next we issue the make command with the j flag and nproc command substitution. Basically, what make does is it builds the software and the j flag specifies the number of CPU cores to use. $sign followed by brackets mean the result of whatever command in the brackets will be passed down. So in effect you can simplify the command as make -j and the number of CPU cores on your computer. Like in my case, the number is 4 cores. So the final command will be make -j for in my case. Next command is sudo make altinstall. Now the issue with the standard make install is that it is virtually almost always going to replace the existing Python binaries as well as Python libraries, header files, documentation, etc. with the newer ones, which might break the system or make the existing programs unusable, because some of the programs installed on your system might need the older version of Python. Sudo make altinstall, on the other hand, installs the compiled code and related stuff into a new separate location on your system. Now let's copy paste the remaining commands one by one. If you want to, you can skip this specific part of the video where I simply copy paste the commands I have already explained. Okay, so let me clear up the screen by issuing Ctrl plus L key combination. Okay, so now comes the fun part. Both the older and the new version of Python is available at the same time. If you type Python 3.13 and then hit the tab key, it will autocomplete to the full Python version, which happens to be 3.13.5. But let's see what happens when we simply issue Python 3 minus capital V. It prints out the older Python's version. So basically you can use both. If you want to run a program using the default version, type Python plus the name of the program, and if you want to run the program using the newly installed version, type Python 3.13.5 followed by the name of your script/program. Also, the pip version is different for different versions of Python. You can check that by issuing pip 3.13-version and then by issuing pip 3.10-version. As you can see, the newer Python build has the newer version of pip. It might be a good idea to alias the newer version of Python with simply Python, so that you can run the latest installed version by issuing Python instead of say Python 3.13.5. But then if you want to use the older version, you will have to type out the full version of the Python version of the older build. Okay, so thanks for watching my video. See you later. Bye bye.